Okay, guys. I've had a few people asking me about how to do the EDofE mapping stuff, so I thought it'd be a good idea to have another go at it. Particularly as it's changed, so it's slightly different to what it was. So, very briefly, what do we do? So, first things first, I've got the Silvermane expedition stuff there. So I've got the route information. As first, I need to do that on put it onto a map. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to log into EDofE, and for you guys it will be in your expedition section. The mapping stuff's there, but for me it's in resources. So click in, go into there, find your mapping software bit. Right, what you're going to need to do first is you're going to need to open OS Explorer. Now, the thing about Open OS Explorer is that if you haven't done it already, you're going to need to start an account. Now, it's free. Just use your EDofE login details. That's your username and your password for EDofE. So you can log in, no problems at all. It's free, great software. So if I click on that, open that up, important thing about mapping stuff, yeah, brilliant. And it's going to open it up, and this is what it looks like. Smashing. So there we go. I've got my go to route, start things here. So I'm going to start by finding Hartington because that's where the expedition kicks off. And I'm going to click on that. And lo and behold, Hartington in the Peak District. That'll do nicely. And it finds it. And then I'm going to just click on this button to get rid of it. I'm also then going to go and change. I might have to move my picture. Yeah, there we go. Change the layers here. So click on map style. It'll ping up. I want the premium topo. So that's the one I want. I'm going to lock it. If I can get rid of my mug again. Lock it at 125k. Okay, because that's what I want. 125k. That's what I need to do. So what am I going to do next? I'm going to find the starting point, and the starting point just happens to be here, and I'm going to create a route. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to draw your route the old-fashioned way. So start here, click, and I'm going to go down here a bit, and I'm going to go up here a bit, and I'm going to do this. What you can do is you can snap, and what that does is it will snap on here. It should automatically there do that on the paths, and just going to move that out of the way, and you can drag it like so, and I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to go up here, and then carry on from there. Okay, now obviously I'm going to use the route that's marked on the map using the route description, but I'm going to carry on here and put along here, down here, down here. This, by the way, might not be your route. I'm just picking something fairly random that looks more or less in the right direction. And we'll go to, let's go to Schoolcloth. Right. So I've clicked my route so far, and I'm just going to zoom out a little bit to make it a little bit easier to see. But what I can do is when I've done that, I can then, I've got these points here. If I then go to save that, and over here if I click on that I can save the route, so I might call that as silver looking about, because it's not the real route, day one, just so I can delete it later. Right, it's worked out my times and all the distances, and save it. Right, do I want to continue editing? Yes I do. Right, before I do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to EDofE, and I'm going to get new maps, and when it does that, it's then going to find silver mucking about day one there. Right, now that's great. If I click on that and look at the route card contains almost zero information because I've not done any route descriptions yet. So drawing the mapping, dead easy. Point to point on the map is easy using the route card information. But this is the bit that is a bit more of a challenge. So what I'm going to do, just close that a minute. I'm going to go back to my route editing options. So this is what I've got to do. I'm going to look at my checkpoints. So probably a good idea to zoom back in again, like so. Whoops, right. And my first checkpoint is at Sheen. Probably here actually, but the checkpoint at Sheen. So I'm going to click on that point. and it'll say this waypoint has no description. So I'm going to edit it. And if I can move the box down, oh, don't do that to me. Let me move the box down. Right, cancel. I'm going to move it further down. Let's have a go. Edit. It's not going to let me. Let's zoom out. Right, there we go. Right. So I'm going to change that to Sheen Road. And then I'm going to write route description. So what am I going to do? I'm going to head west out of village on minor track to footpath heading north, then west. Okay, now I might want to put more on than that. Save. Then I'm going to go to the next one. So my next checkpoint here is the pool. It's not, I've made it up, but we're going to call it the pool. So click on it, edit it, again, move it down so I can write on it. So pool, well, path, northwest. Oops, wasn't doing that. Follow footpath, northwest on random route. Oops. Okay. Right, save that. And then I'm going to go to the next one. So the next one could be here, which is School Clough. So I click on that point, edit it. I can't spell. That's School Clough, I told you. So you want the made up route on footpath and minor road. Right, and then I click save. Right, then I'm going to save it down here. Then it says, do I want to continue editing? No, I'm done. Right, we finished it. It doesn't matter if you do or don't, right? So no, and I can save that, and that I can be here, and I can have that whenever I need it. But if I go back to EDofE now, and if I refresh the map details and then have a look at the route description, now it's given me a route card that I can follow. So that's what you need to do to write your route cards. Okay, you need to write the descriptions as each leg on the map. You can put more legs in if you want, but make sure the checkpoints are in. You can put comments here, but the key thing is change the date. So this will be Friday the 14th. We're not kicking off at 6. You'll get your times at the PXE, but let's say it's 9 o'clock for the sake of cash. Today's day 1. Oh, there you go, day 1. Now, expedition level silver, speed. So it defaults to 4k an hour. I would set it to 3k an hour. That gives you all the time in the world to do your nav and all the rest of it. Right, and what it will then do is it will populate all your times. It's got the names and the grid references. So the grid references you deleted don't matter. It's got those. It's got the times here. You can build in your rest. So Sheen checkpoint. You might have a 10-minute rest there, and you see how it changes your timings. School Clough is going to be 20 minutes for lunch, like so. You can fill anything else in there, but you don't really need to. But down the bottom where it says save route card, save it. And crucially, you're going to want a copy of it to take with you to do the actual route thing. So click on download PDF. It'll break it open in a brand new thing, and you can then print that nice and easily. If it goes on 2 pages, my advice is to print multiple pages and it'll get it on 1. So click on print, the whole thing comes up. Okay, and that's all you need to do. It's less intuitive than the old one, but if you play around with it, it's not too bad. What I do need though, you guys need to make sure you've got 3 route cards for each day, as in for 3 days, 1 each day. And finally, on here, if I close it, you then need to send it to me. So what I would do is I'd click on that, go to send, and I would have a look at my drop down leaders. So I'm going to send it to Crumb. It didn't like, come on. And it'll eventually, oh no, that's not that person. Just interesting, can't find the leader. Right. Maybe it won't send it to me because it is me. Maybe if I try sending it to Simon. Whoops. So fingers crossed, yeah. So I can send it to Simon if I wanted to. And then just put, day one silver, your team name, and that's it. Finish. Ping it over. Okay, so I could do with a copy of that. But fingers crossed, that's all you need to do. Okay, just have a play with it. But it's left click on each checkpoint and write the route description there. Make sure you then, when you've done it, you've got to get new maps to get it to download into your EDofE. And if you do any more work to it, you then need to refresh it before you do anything else. But click on that. There's your route card. If I want to go back to my route, let's have a look at it in real life. Click on Open Explore, and it'll just ping it open as your route there, like so. And you may need to muck about with it, but it should reappear. There it is. So you're going to want to change it back so it looks like that. And if you don't like the big massive blue line, you can change the line shape by going down the bottom and editing it. So down here you've got modify the route, so you can edit it, change the color, you can do a 3D fly through, you can download the EDofE Mapping app on your phone and have the map on your phone. Obviously you're not going to use it for the expeditions, but you could do that for other things. So fingers crossed, that's everything you need to know. So good luck with it, guys.